Hello, everybody. If it's Wednesday, it's Warhammer, and that must mean it's time for another episode of Warhammer Weekly. Joining me, he's back on the show he's got to catch up with Paul somehow. It's Marty. How you doing, buddy?
Thank you for having me, Vince. Reporting to you live from the heartland of America, New York
Yeah,
City, say.
absolutely. Sure. I can see behind you, you've got everything essential. We've got some paper towels, we've
Mhm.
got wine, and a Febreze.
Yes,
All the
yes,
essential things to keep a home. Absolutely. No, that's great.
yes.
We're going to be talking today about the Adepticon show next week. Obviously, next week's show will be live from Adepticon. We'll be doing probably the post, you know,
Yes.
preview show in the hotel room. So Marty will probably be on 2 weeks in a row, realistically, because you'll probably be in
Yes.
the crowd of just general
Mhm.
ne'er-do-wells that I gather up to come up to the hotel room and you know,
Yes. And
complain.
the last time I was on the show was reviewing the Las Vegas Open, or no, the New Year's Day preview.
Oh,
So
there
it's
you
like
go.
I'm kind of like the de facto preview critique
You're
now.
the big show. You're the big preview critiquer. You and I, we do the preview critiques. That's funny. I hadn't thought about that, but there you go. Yes. I'm hoping I can wrap, we'll try to next week. We'll try to wrap in basically anybody I can grab. We'll see if we can get John. We'll see if we can get Adam. We'll get all the people
Mhm.
together, all the
Yes.
normal complainers. We'll see
I,
if
I,
Sam's
I
around, that kind of thing.
I would like to do a Warhammer Weekly with Haywo at some point, so we can finally do the Criterion Collection. I do miss when he was in the group chat where we would talk about movies, and I think we were the only two people who cared about movie references.
I
Yeah.
disagree. I deeply care about movies and movie references, but yes, I understand. We'll try to grab Haywo too, and maybe CJ and SJ if they're around. I will just, like I said, like literally, we can just pack it in, put 8, 9, 10 people behind me. It's like a Greek
Mhm.
chorus.
Yes.
There you go. So, okay. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about what we want to see next week. We're gonna cover not just the preview show and what we want to see, but the show in general. We're going to talk about some other things. But of course, first, we need to start with the news. He said, remembering to get his piece of paper to write timestamps
Mhm.
on. Okay.
Yes.
So let's get over to some news. Let's get over to that hot news. First news item, it's a rumor engine. It's a 40K statue that's just some boots on a thing. So it's probably part of a base, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah. It will depend on what giant model that's a part of, because they don't put something like that on a smaller base unless a
Right.
character is on top of it.
Yeah. I assume it's your standard diorama base for an important character. So some form of very important chapter leader,
Yeah.
Primarch, somebody
It,
like
um,
that.
One thing that is important to know is that Games Workshop likes to trick us a little bit with the rumor engine sometimes,
Sure.
and they will crop things out of the background of the rumor engine.
They
It
will
is
do that.
not, this is not necessarily something that's off to the side of a miniature.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That's very true. Although we've got this other thing that's kind of in the shot at the bottom that feels
Yeah.
like where the miniature is going to be standing and potentially
Mhm.
like pointing a sword or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be anything. So looking forward to the
Nice.
new Ozymandias sculpt. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Uh that is a word Ozymandias, I had only ever read that for like most of my life until the Watchmen movie came out. And I can tell you right now, I did not pronounce that in my head anything like how they pronounced it in the movie, but I assume the movie had the correct pronunciation. So um, that's one of those words that you read it and you're like, well, it sounds like something in your head. So there you go.
Yeah. I
Uh,
think people are saying that it's the base for the Chaos version of the Midnight, the Destroyer. I think both of us are going to paint that.
of the what?
The Destroyer, the Knight chassis, the
Oh,
Midnight.
yes, the mid-sized knight. Okay, got it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what they're actually called? Yeah, I didn't even know
Yes.
that was what they were called. Oh, there you go. I just like big knight, medium knight, little knight. Like that's fine. Or
Mhm.
big robot, even more appropriately,
Yeah.
big robot, medium robot, little robot. That's all I care about. So,
And thank you in the chat for people talking about my Golden Demon submissions. We will be getting to that later in the show.
oh, absolutely. We will talk about that. You betcha. So,
There's a little
um,
bit more
oh, there's
news.
more news. Don't you worry. We're not done with the news yet. Oh no, there's more news. for sure. So, next up in our news area, ba-boom, Spearhead. You can collect Spearhead things. We talked about this a little recently, but they put up a big article about it this week, showing all the different Spearheads and how you collect it and all that. This is obviously your little magazine, the subscription that you can get, and you get a Spearhead with it every time. So
this is one of those things that kind of bypasses me a little bit, like this, because if there's miniatures I want, I go out and buy them. But
Mm-hmm.
like, so this idea of collecting along with a magazine subscription is not something that's usually within my purview, but I like to see like the bonuses, the savings, like the magazines themselves are very good. Like so I do see them occasionally open at my local Games Workshop,
Sure.
and a lot of effort goes into making them attractive to newer hobbyists because I think they're meant to be sold like in magazine stores, places where you're not normally going to be buying model kits. So they definitely are great about walking people through the steps of the hobby and making it digestible.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, these seem perfectly fine. You get a lot of cool figs in there. Like they're showing 3 of the best figs in like current Warhammer for just like normal human-sized people on the cover,
Hmm.
which is like that particular Lord Veritant, the Grey Seer, and even that Warlock Engineer. 3 figs, like I think, were absolute home runs out of the original Vermin, or out of the Vermintide box or whatever it was called.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
what was it
Someone
called?
asked, I don't really know who wants to collect
See,
all of the spearheads. People like Tom.
Tom, literally, the only reason he's not getting this round, like, because he got the last round of this magazine. The only reason he's not getting this round is because he literally already collected all of the spearheads.
Yeah.
That's it. So it would just be completely duplicative. He literally made it his mission to get one of every spearhead collected and painted. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he hasn't succeeded on the painted yet, but he's collected all of them. So
Yeah.
there you go. So there are lunatics in the world is the answer. Possible cabbage.
A different local game store owner asked me about it because apparently in one of the like ad commercials for it on the internet, there is a Games Workshop. I guess it's like they have a training. Like there's a weird, unique Stormcast Lord Celestin, like sculpted like the original 2015 one, but in the post third edition armor like permutation.
Mm-hmm.
And I will probably look for that at some point and try and paint that for like standalone competitions or
Sure.
something because it does look interesting to paint. Um, but they haven't really made it clear how you get a hold of something like that yet. So I will be keeping an eye out for that.
Sure. I want to hit a couple questions real quick that I think are important.
Yeah.
All right. Say to 72, which armies will be in the next edition starter box for AOS? Stormcast and who else? Well, if they follow the rotation, then we're back to death. So
Yeah.
who knows if we
Which
stick
is
to the
which is
same
good.
rotation.
Yeah.
I think they will change it up and go to destruction. That's what I think. Because they like slightly zigging when you thought they were going to slightly zag, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it will be death as well, and I think that's a good thing because I think Soul Wars was the best box that like Games Workshop has made like ever. So I'd
Who
like
would you
to
pick
see.
in death? Is it a new death
Um,
faction, or are they like,
uh,
because who needs the
so
resculpt?
so I was about to say it's like it could be Soul Blight, could be OBR. I'm
I
not
mean,
that
OBR is
or
still very
Feg.
new.
Yeah,
SBG got a major resculpt. Nighthaunt is still relatively newish, 2018
hmm
for a lot of their figs.
yeah, and
Right.
they won't do 2 in a row. So it would I'm like maybe OBR. That's a topic for I think a future show, like
And
probably
FEC
this
got a decent
Christmas.
sized expansion recently. So, I mean,
Yeah.
the point is they're running
Well,
out of forces that are like needing that
yeah.
kind of work.
Well, they are like heavily rumored that well, I mean, technically the leak was like the orcs leaked for 40K because of
Yeah,
that one kit, and they did tease a few more. So it's like just getting new kits is not an excuse to like does not save a faction from getting even more new kits
it's
like
a fair
that.
point. It's a fair point.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Boo, boo, boo. Uh, personally, I want Stormcast not to be the poster boys for AOS. They are not Space Marines. Give us something else. No, they're definitely not Space Marines. That is absolutely true. But unfortunately, they did put the statue out front of their business, so they're going to have to ride this a little bit longer. Vince, are you going to do a live show next week since the Adepticon reveal stream will be at the same time? Yes, we will. As per usual, we'll do it, as I mentioned earlier, from the hotel show. It'll be from the hotel show. We'll do it immediately preceding the reveal show, and we'll come back and talk about the reveal show. We usually start about the same time that the article goes up, or articles go up, basically.
Yeah.
So, okay. Let's see. Boo, boo, boo. All right. I think we're getting a new Nagash that will look like a new faction they'll be releasing. I mean, like, I would love a new death release. That's fine. I've talked about a new death release forever.
Yeah, especially now that they're doing end times for Total War. And with Putrid Blight Kings looking like they are because that was like the first end time sculpt that they just redid. It would not surprise me if they start to try and move some of the classic using air quotes, end time stuff into Old World or scuttling it in favor of new sculpts using newer CAD technology. Like as Games Workshop puts out releases faster, the time span of like what counts as old gets a little shorter.
I mean, yes, but there's still a lot of old in the range.
Yes.
So sure.
Yes. Yeah. On the net.
I understand. You're saying the average age of the kits writ large shrinks.
Yes.
I get you.
Yes.
You know, I think that, like somebody mentioned a Frankensteinian death faction. Sure. I think you could do a Malekith Dark Elves faction and have an Order versus Order box. You could have Stormcast going up against like another Order faction. I think you could get away with that, and it would be perfectly acceptable. Everybody would love it. Like, oh yeah, they're still in Order, but they just don't get along, and like that'd be fine.
I would argue we needed that like this edition or like third edition. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. The only reason I don't think it would be ogres is because it's like going to be sooner. We'll talk about that when we talk about what we hope to see it.
Yeah.
At Adepticon preview show.
One question before we move on, and I don't know if this is a nod. Does the Black Library app count as news?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah. All right.
But obviously, the last bit of news is yes, the preview show is next week, and this is what we have confirmed to be showing. So we will use this to guide ourselves throughout our discussion later on. Well, what are we going to see here? We're going to see Warhammer 40K, Age of Sigmar, Horus Heresy, Kill Team, and Underworlds. I, for one, am already disappointed. I'm disappointed. Okay? You're already strike one. Now, you could bring it back. There's plenty of people who knock it into the stands after strike one, right? So that's nothing. You get 3 strikes. Okay? But one, no Old World? Really? After the killer release last time? Don't have a Kislev coming or anything? Okay. Fine. 2, no Warcry. So we can just, I assume, bury that. All right. Yeah. Okay. So I just assume that's dead. Right. And there we go. Like these bother me. How does Underworlds keep existing and yet Warcry doesn't? I don't understand. I guess just because people buy the boxes to paint the models.
I have a little bit of a theory, but I will hold it for another time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Middle-earth strategy battle game is supposed to get a little thing as well. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because it's around the same time as because this is like a hyper niche game. It has a special relationship with Games Workshop. There's a convention called Adepticon, which is like the world's largest Middle-earth strategy battle game event, which is in the UK.
Oh, okay.
And the Games Workshop, all of the Games Workshop staff that have ever worked on the Middle-earth game have their own heart. Like, it's a special place in their heart, and they attend as well. So Games Workshop usually saves like a little special micro reveal for that event. And I think it's usually in like April. So it's basically like close enough that those things intermingle. So they might tease. It's like at Adepticon, here's like a rumor engine sized thing in color. It's like tune in next month. Yeah, sort of thing. Yeah.
Drive Short says, I mean, I definitely bought 3 of the Underworld's war boxes just to paint the models. And Hades with the super chat coming in saying, because Underworld is the superior game, Vince. Is it? All right, I'll trust you. I mean, I've played both. I didn't think either one of them were great, but I did enjoy Warcry better. Well, that's what I'll if you want my rating on those. I mean, I certainly believe Warcry isn't a moneymaker for GW. Yes. I think they shot themselves in the foot. I think it could have been.
That might be a good episode to have in the future.
Like, sure, like how we really should do it. We need to do like an autopsy on Warcry.
Yeah, bring on Warcry's greatest champions in like the Age of Sigmar extended community. Yeah, like especially some of the guys in the Mortal Realms Discord, because there is a Warcry thread that is active. Those guys are playing it. Like, I mean,
sure.
I play it occasionally, and it's we'll see what they do with it. Like, I don't imagine, like, for who knows how long, but I think that hole in the product range will be filled eventually by something. A skirmish version of their core fantasy game will be filled at some point.
I've got to find like reach out to Sam and have him try to do the show at a weird time from South Korea, and just like I want to do like there's the YouTube videos that are like the death of this thing, and it's like it's like a video investigation into like what happened, like the rise and fall of this thing. Maybe that's what we'll call the episode, the rise and fall of Warcry. I've got thoughts. I've got definite thoughts as to how they basically jumped off a cliff.
Another person, if you want to do GW staff autopsy, is Peachy. Peachy loves Warcry. He still makes warbands for it and stuff. So
there you go.
Might be one to reach out to as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Start planning that out. That feels like a good one. All right. That is officially all the news I've got. There you go. All right. Let's get to some pick of the week. Marty, what do you got for your pick of the week?
All right. So earlier this week, a friend of the channel, Eric's Hobby Workshop, put out an interesting video that I thought was worthy of rumination. And he was talking about the complexity of newer kits that Games Workshop has been putting out over the past few years. The only nitpick I would have is there is not a sufficient distinction between the core studio and like the specialist games studio model kits.
Okay.
However, Games Workshop doesn't make that distinction to its customers for the most part. So arguably, it's like, well, you're still buying a Warhammer kit, and the Warhammer kit is this complex. He was talking about how the Saturnine Terminators are like 45 parts, and it's like just asking hobbyists to engage with building to this just like exponentially get complex sort of activity may be killing a little bit of the fun for people, especially when they are limited poses, because of how dynamic the digital sculpting has become. And sort of the but I just found it an interesting topic. It's one that has come up in our sort of like conversations amongst our friends as well. Notably, like I think there was a big shock last year with the Cathay Sentinel, which is just a giant statue guy, and he is like around 100 pieces.
137 pieces to assemble. There is 149 in the box. You don't use 12 depending on your leg construction.
And how many pieces is a Mega Gargant?
Less. Many less. I couldn't tell you because it didn't bother me at all. Like 2 parts to a leg, some extra things you put on the outside, like a few, like literally, I don't know, a standard amount, probably 20 to 30.
But that's where I mean, where it's like these things are not the same. Like if you were to buy a regular Space Marine Terminator set, that would not have like 40 pieces of armor.
That statue's calf, like shin and calf, is 9 pieces.
Yes.
That is too many pieces for just the shin. I'm not talking the knee. I don't mean the foot. Right? Not a thigh to be found here. Okay, we're far away from the groinal area. No.
Yeah.
Lower leg, 9 pieces. That's too many pieces.
Yeah. And that's where it's like these kits are designed by different teams with different design philosophies.
Mm-hmm.
But the video is an interesting critique of like, have we gone too far generally? Because it's like we might get to a tipping point where people just don't want to build, like it's too intimidating to collect a larger army because it's like this takes hours of work just building a squad of guys. And for Horus Heresy, the armies are a little larger because the troops are a little bit more uniform, like because it's mainly Space Marine armies fighting each other, and the armies are supposed to be larger to reflect the scale of the conflict. So it's
Sure.
like, at one point, is this just too much?
I
I thought it
think
was an
that they
interesting
got.
video.
I absolutely agree. I think that's fascinating. I'm definitely going to watch it because I just like I have such a problem with the slicing that SDS
Mm-hmm.
does because
Yeah.
I know that like obviously the designers do their own slicing. They don't have like dedicated slicers in the studios,
Mm-hmm.
and I look at that and I'm just like I open those boxes and I was just like no, I don't want to do any more of these. I
Yeah.
just don't. This is ridiculous,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
like it's
For me with the Cathay dirigible or balloon, it's
yeah,
not
the
a
balloon.
paper, the lantern. Yeah. Like the fact that you can build a whole furniture set that goes inside the balloon with 5 crew, and it's like you can, and it's like who made this? Like
Sure,
you can
sure,
actually
sure.
build a box with a lid that has dumplings in it, and it's like who made this?
People who are really obsessed with the detail and say, hey, you're good for them. Like, I don't have a problem with
Yeah,
that kind of
sure.
stuff. I don't mind
I
that kind of
can.
stuff because I can just leave
Yeah.
that out,
Right. Of
right? I
course.
don't mind if you give me like the old giant kit,
Hmm.
giant kits in general, both the Mega Gargant
Yes.
and the regular Baby Gargant. They
Hmm.
have tons of extra crap you can staple all over them, or you can just not, right? And that's fine. I don't mind you giving me a bunch of extra value that I can choose to optionally use, right?
Yes.
But if
Yes.
assembling the main thing
Correct.
is 130 pieces, we've gone too far, right? Like that's just I don't need a whole day project on assembling the thing. Like literally an 8-hour day just assembling a regular kit. That's too long.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was using the new Saturnine Terminators as an example,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
could
Which
be the
feels like a
core
great,
of
yeah, absolutely great
yeah,
example.
which could be the core of your army. This is like you need like 2 boxes of these if you want to run an army of the main Terminators,
Right.
basically. And it's like, yeah, right.
Right.
So that was my
Yep.
pick of the week.
Very good pick. Very good pick, Marty. For mine, I wanted to take us into a little bit more of a theory craft. Our good buddy Sam Lenz, who I'm looking forward to seeing next week.
Too.
He released a wonderful video earlier this week called Dream State Vibes and Theory. He's painting a bust. I just love the colors and the ambiance and the emotion that he put into it. That's kind of what the video is about. It's just a very, 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 very good video about like how to see beyond what's just in front of you on the sculpt
Yeah.
and create your own sort of reality there. Um, yeah, I just think it's wonderful, and I think the job he ends up with, the paint job he ends up with in the end, is absolutely gorgeous. So check it out. Both Marty's and my thing will be linked down below after the show, so you'll be able to find them there. Check it out.
Yeah. I will need to watch that as well.
It's a really good one, man. It's really good. It's only like
Yeah.
12 minutes or something, so it's not even
Yeah.
that big a deal.
Hmm.
Okay. So, Peppo says there's some in the main games too. Saurus Warriors stick out as an example. I assume you mean of like bad kits to assemble. Not for me, buddy, because all my Saurus Warriors are from the Bretonia versus Lizard Man set. Talk about order versus order from, back in the 90s. And those Saurus were great. 2 pieces. Guy, shield. If you don't equip him with a shield, 1 piece. It's time for 1 piece.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You love it. So that's my Saurus Warriors. All right. Let's talk about a little hobby time. Marty, what have you been working on? He said, knowing full well what the next picture in this sequence is.
Yeah, so I have been getting ready for Adepticon,
Yes.
which includes putting together some pieces for display at various contests. One being the new Monument Miniatures as Art like exhibition,
Yep.
which I believe a certain Warhammer Weekly host will be doing demos at.
Yeah, I'll be there and judging. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. I'm still can like I would imagine like because this is like they got the space for the show like next year, so this is kind of like a little preview, just like pop up art show. Is that kind of like what it?
I think it's going to find what it is this year, is the answer.
Okay. All right. But still, I wanted to bring something that I wouldn't normally. It's like I'm glad to see a miniatures agnostic or IP agnostic, I should say,
I agree.
competition coming back after like 6 years to Adepticon. So I'm bringing my Game of Thrones piece from last year, and also this special one, which is my West Wing fan art of Martin Sheen as President Jed Bartlett.
Yep.
And then for Golden Demon, I finished up finally after several months the Farsight broadside battlesuit. Do you have that photo as well, or just the?
I do. Nope, I've got it too. It's up
Okay,
now.
thank you. It was nice to work with all of these different colors and new paints. This is mostly for the two pieces AK paints, so thank you.
Oh yeah, you love to see it.
For those,
Your work doesn't look overtly chalky, which I appreciate. That's not
yes.
That's you not using those scale 75 paints anymore.
Yes, for context for the audience, at the end of every show, Vince has been pulling me aside and shaking my shoulders, and it's like, Marty, stop using scale 75 paints. Stop it now.
They're bad.
And I finally listened to him after Nova last year. So
Yeah.
I still use one scale 75 paint, which is Decay Black for the bases.
That's fine. I'm not going to hit you up for that one.
Well, it's ultra matte, so it's a nice matte finish.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I've really enjoyed stepping up my like I'm on a quest towards scale model challenge this year. I'm on track. I really like how my pieces have improved, getting feedback. I'm looking forward to speaking with a bunch of people at Adepticon that I don't get to see at any other point in the year, including Sam. And yeah, getting feedback, getting insight, thinking about what I need to do next for the future pieces I'm working on.
Absolutely. I shout out to Hades with a super chat. Speaking of hobby time, I recently got a War Mumac for cheap. Beautiful. Nice. Love it. And I wanted to ask how to do elephant skin without it looking like bare plastic. Well, go ahead. You got a thought? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I was about to say, the adding color to your shadows, like greens. You can make gray look very interesting by changing the color temperature of the highlights and the shadows. So for something like a Mumakil, like some green and purple in the shadows, and then like a nice like bone, probably like a chalky bone, like light dry brush with like a makeup brush, to make nice simple like if you're going for like gaming army, like relatively tabletop quality, that would look just fine.
I agree with that completely. Yeah. It's very good advice. Yes, the answer is don't use normal like mid-tone gray. Mid-tone gray doesn't exist very much in the real world. Like within the real world, things have color. So yeah, like, and if you go look at the movie, like that's an easy reference. You can see they're very colorful type of things. Like you can like at a glance you'd be like, well, that's a gray thing. But when you look at them closely in the scenes, now there's like exactly, Marty, as you said, there's green stuff like that. There's yellows in there. All these different very light tones. And yeah, go for it. There you go. Okay. So yeah, that would be my advice too. I agree with Marty. All right. The Steve 19. Too bad the President Bartlett scroll has been garbage since the last battle scroll. Yeah, it's a problem. Yeah, they totally nerfed his scathing speech ability.
Yes.
That's good. Okay. Have you painted with the Musu? I don't know how you say it, but the ultra black. Muso. Okay, sure. Why not? Black before. No, and I never will, because it does not have a purpose. Much like things are never gray, things are never completely matte black. It does not have a purpose in this hobby. I'm sure it's perfectly neat for like canvas painting, where you creating voids and sort of having light absorbing black can be useful. But in our hobby, nothing should ever be that black. I am wearing a black vest right now. This is not black. It doesn't look black. Like it's not. It is a matte black surface. If I put this into a color picker and just like showed you this little square right here, right, it would not, like this spot, it would not read as like black, right? Probably the darkest spot that you can see is right here in my collar, and even that isn't like dark, ultra matte black. They're just
And
you're much better off
on
with
the
like chromatic blacks. Like mix a burnt umber and an ultramarine blue, and you'll get a much better like chromatic black. That's like the simplest chromatic black recipe.
on the screen right now is a Tau mechanized battlesuit guy with a lot of the black, like undersuit machinery being black. There is very little, if any, black paint anywhere.
That's right. Yeah, it's
on
always
that.
just like
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
yeah.
For the base rims, I don't even know if I'd do it for the base rims, but sure. I mean, like that seems an acceptable enough use, but honestly, like black is black. Like I don't need ultra black edges on my base rims. I'm not going that far for it. Just like I literally just grab something that says matte black or whatever and go, and it's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I just like in the end, I don't think it has any use in the hobby.
I also teach.
Oh, by the way,
at,
it's also like super pigmenty and chalky. So that's also a thing. It's not merely made for our scale of work.
Yeah, I do teach a class called How to Paint Black and White without using black or white. So
Right.
yeah, you can get away with not using black to paint black.
Thanks, guys. So to get green in the shadows, do I base green or shade with green? Mix green in with your darker gray colors. Use a green influenced dark gray, like stuff like that. Same, you could go, it could be in the highlights too. Like, this is green gray, right? This is a perfect highlight color for something like that. It's toned. I mean, it looks very bright on camera because there's lights that are on me, but that kind of thing. Or, you know, whatever. Use like, here you go, black green. That's a nice dark color that you can use. You mix stuff like that together, and so on and so on and so forth. You can just grab two paints, like just use a mid-tone green and mix it into the like some kind of gray paint if you can't find one that out of the bottle does it singularly.
Yeah,
but yeah, you can also then do gentle glazes and sort of wash type things as well, which you'll want to do because he's a super textured skin thing.
If I may add, one of the things that Vince has been trying to influence in my display painting is to move away from recipes. And so when I posted the Tau like on social media, people were asking for various recipes for the armor, and I showed them these are the 5 paints I used.
Right.
You only need these 5 paints to paint that red armor, but I'm not going to tell you in terms of consistency or mixing ratios because it's like I didn't need to keep track of that. I was just making sure I used those paints. Oh, dog break.
Oh yeah, it was. I can hear it. I can hear it coming before everybody else.
Before it catches on the microphone. Hello.
Yes. Hello. Come here, little girl. All right. It's time for our pup date. Oh goodness. You're too big for this. Here she is. There you go. This is little Florin. She's not as little anymore. Why are you looking at her?
Look over here.
There you go. Yeah, look at them. What's that?
Look over here. Look over here. Hi. Oh.
So yes, this is little Florin. She's little. She's over 6 months now. She's like, I don't know, 45, 47, 50 pounds, something like that. So she's a big girl now.
She's so cute.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. Yes. Hi, baby.
She gives Vince kisses because she loves him more.
That's not true at all.
She's a good hugger. She likes to hug you.
I can see that.
As she gives him kisses on yeah. I have ocular proof now, dear.
She didn't do it at all. She just sniffed me.
Right there.
Yeah.
It's just sniffing.
She's a good girl.
She is. Yep. So
When
there you
she's
go.
not trying to unalive herself.
Yes.
Okay then.
Well, yeah. I mean, the trick is I was. Oh, hello. I was gone last week traveling. Obviously, as last week was from the hotel, and Kathy was at MedVet 3 days in a row for different things the dogs got into.
VEG, Veterinary Emergency Group Easton. It wasn't MedVet this time.
Sorry, whatever. Yes, she was at the
emergency vet
3 days in a row. Yes, so it was a rough week for her last week. Mm-hmm.
This one only tried to unalive herself once with the consumption of too much food.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
So
there you go. It was the other dog was the chocolate thief, Artie. So there you go.
Yeah, and she's
That
fine.
one was down
and
there.
learned
She's
nothing.
fine. Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
ready?
one little bit of news in the chat. The Art of Books, the shipping has finally begun for the United States.
That's right. Yep. Dave was packing them up. I see. He shared them on video of him packing up in the Game Envy warehouse, and that's where they'll be available from. So if you missed out on the Kickstarter, you'll also be able to get them once everything's fulfilled. You'll be able to get them from Game Envy. I think they'll have a few at Adepticon. So
I have
There
been
you go.
waiting for my Vince and TJ Marsh book. That's from the
Well,
Kickstarter.
there you go.
Mhm.
So it's I'm excited for everybody to get it and to tell me what you think. It's probably not what you think it is. There you go. That's what I'll say.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
all right, my hobby time, since that's still what we're doing somehow. I don't know when that pup date was, how I'm gonna timestamp this. That's fine.
Mhm.
I'll figure things out. Okay. Anyways, I'm still working on this freaking night. It goes on and on and on. So here's how everything is looking
Yep.
right now. Everything's laid out. We're making progress. We're getting along. So very sort of unorthodox effects in practice here.
I was about
I
to say
was
that looks like the. Speaking of Sam Lenz, that looks like the most rock and roll, death metal thing I've seen you paint in a long time.
well, it's a corn night, and so there you go.
Yeah,
Wanted
exactly,
him to have that
exactly.
fire, but then I couldn't just put metal up against the fire because obviously that would be silly. If there was metal up against the fire, then the fire is not really fire. So we had to char out the metal, right? So it's got to be
Mhm.
charred where it's burned and has that kind of thing on it and all that sort of stuff. So it's coming along. There you go. So we're in the home stretch, I suppose. So that's nice. But still much
Yes.
work to do.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. Was it intentional your book was number 13? Yes, that was intentional. That was absolutely intentional. Dave talked to me about it some time back and was like, because he plans them out fairly far in advance. And he was like, do you want to do
Mhm.
book 13? And I said, yeah, of course. So that was kind of how that happened. Does using purple with a red highlight work well for yellow? I'm not sure what you mean. I don't know. Do you mean like, oh, are you asking just like compositionally? You're not saying mixing the paint. You're saying, can you put those two
Yeah.
colors together? Like have a
Yeah. Yeah.
purple to
Yeah.
red and yellow?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I'd rather give a man a fish than or teach a man to fish than give a man a fish. So color wheel, right? So if we've got purple to red, then we're in red violet right here. Okay. And then if we've got what was your what like then the question is what is your other color going to be that's off of that, right? So if you had a split complementary, you could be over here in red orange and then up in green as your split complementary scheme. We could orient that the other way around, move it that way. We could have red violet and blue violet and have a like sort of yellowish color up here. So it could work. It could work, yes. Then you'd have blue as your other color. Think classic Bretonian scheme probably. So yeah, it's just a matter of balancing out those colors right and remembering that it's less. You can make a lot of things work if you uh uh if you remember that like the enemy's not actually necessarily the colors, it's how saturated they are. Right. So as long as you can, if one of them is fairly weak and one of them is saturated, you're good to go. Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. How many of the Chaos God Knights have you done so far? I've done, well, this will be Corn. It's the only one I haven't done is a Zinch Knight once I'm done with this one.
You've
I've
done a Nurgle
done,
Knight?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I just must not remember it. Sorry.
I was gonna bring him one year. I don't know. Maybe I'll just take him and put him into
In Nova?
Golden Demon
Sure.
this year for fun or something. He's done. I mean, I could
Okay.
just take him somewhere. He's too big to
Yeah.
bring anywhere, but I'm driving this time, so I suppose if I was ever
Yeah.
going to bring him, it'd be this time.
Mhm.
He's just so huge because it's
Yeah.
one of the big heresy knights. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it won't win anything. It will never win anything because I do what I do with knights, and that does not win in
Sure.
Golden Demon, regardless of like
Yeah.
the quality of the paint job.
No, there's always an element of anything is possible. So I don't want to. Yeah. Anyway.
I saw that. Cygnus answered Vince. Don't worry. I saw it. It's all good. Okay. You can skip Zinch because he's a big nerd. Yeah, I'll eventually do a Zinch night. So we'll get there. All right. The only one you haven't done is the one you use for your Warhammer Weekly character. Well, that's because we saved the best for last, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know what a Zinch Knight looks like, I think. I have to think about what because like it need to be magical. I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah.
Magic and machines. Whereas the Khorne one I had a pretty direct, and the Nurgle one and the Slanesh ones I all had direct visions of. I've done
Magic
2
and Machines
Slanesh Knights, as a matter of fact.
without looking like the protagonist faction of War Machine.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Marty, let's move on. Let's talk about Adepticon. Let's get over there. All right.
Yep.
Ba-boom. Adepticon 2026, the Baird Center in Milwaukee. We are 1 week away. So there you go.
I am flying in this time.
Oh,
I
good
am
for
not
you.
driving.
Ironically, I am driving this year. I just, with everything going on with the airports right now, I didn't want to mess with it. So there it is. Where do you get your display plinths, Vince? Wherever I can is usually the answer. I hate display plinths. Getting them is way more annoying than it should be. Michigan Toy Soldier is usually the answer for me here in the States. So,
I have friends who are carpenters, and as long
Sure.
as they polish the plinth so it has like a smooth finish, that's generally what I use. But also our friend of the show, I don't know if he's ever been on Warhammer Weekly, Mr. James Taro.
He has not. But yeah, Taro makes a bunch. I've thought about just like grabbing a couple of the 3D print files, because there are a lot of 3D print plinths that are really nice. So like if you have access to a 3D printer or somebody who does, that's really your best answer. And I've thought about grabbing a bunch of those and just having like Anthony print a bunch of them out or something. Okay.
Yes.
I've got a candle with a fancy wooden lid that is becoming a diorama plinth. Nice. Yeah, if you're doing like diorama plinths, those are easier because you really can just like go to the hardware store and get those little like wooden things and then sand them down and they're fine. That'll work. But like generally, if you just want like a block with a background, it's tougher. So there you go. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So let's talk about preview stuff. Here we go. Marty, let's start with the preview show. Okay.
Yes.
That's the big show. Start Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be on about an hour later, so the show will be like at least an hour-ish later than it normally is.
Yes. They have been saying, well, people are like, oh, it's a 2-hour preview. It's like there's always like a Q&A section, and they do
which
it a
we will
little
be
different.
exiting for. That will not be. I will not be participating in the when's the next Primarch come out, that kind of thing.
And also, well, because if we're talking about predictions at the end of the show, especially when there's a new edition of a given game system on the horizon, they end the preview with a narrative trailer for the core box, like the launch of that system. And the narrative trailer generally shows off all of the units which are going to be in that box. This has been true for both 40K and Age of Sigmar and Horus Heresy and Kill Team and technically Warcry, but they showed off Warcry at like not Adepticon. I think that was like a summer, like that was like a May or June thing, and then they released it afterwards. They did a live action trailer, which was like peak weird Games Workshop, like right before COVID.
Sure.
Yes. They still have all those props in this, but so I think most of the Q&A will be focused on people being in shock and awe of presumably the 11th edition Warhammer 40,000 trailer.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's obviously where we're starting. Space Marines versus Orcs, blah 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 blah. Yeah. That's what'll be a big thing.
Yeah, the Whispers and the Warp, and also games where I do like now. So they put up a sizzle reel. Was it today or yesterday? I was in meetings for like
today. You're talking about the little like preview thing of Eddie being in like a stately manor house in the countryside, and Adam pulls up on the motorcycle. Yes, that came out today.
They are because also for New Year's and the Christmas one, where they were like they incorporate the teasers for what factions are getting good new toys into the bit itself. Like I really liked on the airplane, when they were going to the World Championships in Atlanta, they put a bunch of crates in the cargo plane, and each of the crates was for a different faction.
Sure.
I thought that was cute. And this time it was all of the patches on the biker jacket.
Right.
Which was cute. It's like I think that's it's clever, it's low key. And so we're able to like have like red meat to ruminate on from those little teasers.
So given that, what do you, so obviously we'll see this 11th edition for 40K. I don't think that's shocking. Like we'll see that
Right.
and releases that will tail on, right? So the release box and
Yes.
other things that'll happen afterward. That just feels
Well,
like the easiest gimme.
well, no, I think actually, because they end the preview with the trailer, because how this works is over the next month and a half,
They'll
every
give more.
Monday, yeah, they show off a unit from the box.
Yeah, I'm not saying we'll get everything. I'm saying we'll get the teases of things, to be clear. You're
Okay.
right. Yes,
Well,
I agree.
because the
Then we'll get like the detailed reveals. They'll be like 11th edition's
yes,
coming. Here's the box. Here's a cool
mhm,
trailer. Here's like one model from the box, right? And we're going to show
mhm,
you the rest and then
yeah.
some other stuff. And they would say there's going to be more boxes coming, blah, 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 right?
And also, I think before that, they have to end 10th edition, and I believe that they are going to show off. I think it Perturabo, the Demon Primarch of the Iron Warriors. That's my personal prediction,
Okay.
because there is a Warhammer 40,000 is being like shown. I think that we're going to see kits that will come out before 10th edition is
Sure.
technically over,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think something to cap off before we talk about Armageddon. Like I get that Commissar Yarrick is on his way, and they did like the nice
Sure.
mini animation for him last week. I think we're still focusing on the Iron Warriors. Do you remember Ultramad? That weird like um, half half baked meta protest thing they did over Christmas that never amounted to anything.
I do not.
Okay. Games Workshop was kind of making fun of themselves, where people from like accounts receivables and like the office, just regular office workers,
The
dressed
normal,
up as
the normies who work there, yes.
yes, all dressed up and protested that there were not enough Ultramarines releases outside of Games Workshop, and they put out like four of these little trailers um, as like fake news reports leading to Christmas, and then um, I believe it was Huron Blackheart who was previewed on Christmas Day, and the campaign just did like disappeared. But they did sell merch for it. You could buy coffee mugs, sweaters, T-shirts, all with like the protest dry erase marker. I'm ultra mad. And I'm like, people were thinking that this is because this was right before when they were getting a bunch of Ultramarines releases. It's like, well, they're going to remake Gulliman, right? Like they're going to do like what we were thinking about that they would do with
Mm-hmm.
Nagash. It's like, well, we have even better CAD technology now. He needs a cape. He needs a bigger base. He needs to be even more epic and even more
Sure.
Robert Gulliman. So it's like we could see, to cap off 10th edition, a brand new super duper Robert Gulliman.
Okay.
Who knows? Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. So yes,
Um,
I mean, and that's what they'll start with. They'll start with all that stuff,
yes.
and they'll end with the 11th trailer. So like,
Yes.
great,
Yes.
cool, fine, excellent, and yeah, probably like Blood Angels versus Orcs or whatever, as they've said. Yes. So
People were talking about the Armageddon. I do think the rumors have been that the box for Blood Angels versus Orcs is going to be called Armageddon. So I think that we are going to be traveling back in time to like third edition, and Gazgul Thraka and all of these classic Space Marine heroes for the Blood Angels that are like not vampire themed, like Captain
mm-hmm.
Chicho and
Mm-hmm.
guys I can't remember off the top of my head because I know too much about too many factions, will be getting new sculpts.
All right. So that brings us to the thing we really want to discuss, which is AOS. Okay.
Yes.
What do you feel for the what do you feel for the AOS review preview? What are we getting here? We getting a big thing. We getting some big
Yeah,
things.
I think we're actually getting miniatures this year.
Oh, okay. Well, that's exciting. As opposed
Yes.
to like 2 books and a foot hero or something like that. All right. Okay.
Oh no. Like, well, remember last year there were no new miniatures.
I understand.
Yes. So on the biker jacket was a Cities of Sigmar logo.
Yep.
Um, and there have been rumors on TGA, the source of all good and juicy Age of Sigmar rumors, the TGA forums, that a Cities of Sigmar expansion has been brewing for a long time. Talk of cog forts has echoed
Sure.
through the void over and over again. I think we'll get our usual things. Like I do like the idea that Adepticon is where they saw it. New Spearhead box. I
Mm-hmm.
like these Spearhead boxes. I hope they do this for Combat Patrol for 40K as well.
Okay.
I like it as a product. It keeps this game mode alive for people that enjoy it. It gives it new content. It puts a little nice bundle of terrain in there, um, and it kind of it's making more use of the Mortal Realms as a lore like perspective because it's like, well, this is actually going to different places, even if the core narrative is not.
Right.
Um, and it also is the same thing to showcase the last GHB of the season. And if it's anything like last year, because we all really enjoyed the Scourge of Gyran, I hope that is a system that like continues in some form,
Mm-hmm.
where it's a new GHB, but also here is 2 war scrolls out of every army that is getting special rules for that season.
Boy, God, will we need it. Like literally my enjoyment of my Hellsmiths of Hashut and
Mhm.
playing them is going to drop precipitously when I lose access to the new uh War
The Scourge of
Despot.
Gyran scrolls, yeah.
Well, the Scourge of Gyran War Despot. He ties the whole room together. Okay, he really does. Like when I
Yes.
have that guy, army fun to play. When I don't have that guy, army not fun to play. It's pretty
Mm.
much a light switch. It's funny how ridiculously like just absolutely critical that dumb little 140 point idiot is. Okay,
Yeah.
so
I am.
so cities and ogres. That's everybody's
I'm.
prediction. Are we getting
Yeah.
cities and ogres?
I'm not sure. I think it has been. The pattern is played through now that the
Mm-hmm.
graphic that they showcased last year at Nova is not what's coming next, but what is getting a larger release.
Okay,
And so, Fire Slayers and Ogres are the last 2 graphics which have not gotten a miniatures release,
sure.
and it does look like if those were to come next, they would get more than a foot hero and a book. Um, Hopefully, for the case of Ogres or Fire Slayers, quite a few things,
Sure.
because they need it. Um, yeah, I am indifferent to cities cutting in line if they do get previewed by themselves, but I would like to see either Fire Slayers or Ogres or cities. Any of them would be much appreciated, and I think we would come away quite happy. No matter what, I think we are getting a FOMO box, an army launch box,
Okay.
for whatever kits they showcase for us, because I think there will be enough kits shown off for to facilitate that.
We've got the City of Sigmar patch on his jacket, so we
Hmm.
can pretty much chalk that one up.
Yeah.
Now he's got a lot of weird patches on his jacket. To be clear, okay.
Yes.
Not everyone I knew exactly what it was meant to be. Like, to be fair, I brought it up on the screen over here to my left just to refresh my memory of everything that's here.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, there's a lot. There's like 15 of them, more than I think is like individual fact. Like I think a few of them allude to the same thing.
sure. So, uh, like, I assume the one on his back that's like bright teal with the weird little antler piece is like something
Yeah.
for Underworlds, I would assume. Obviously, you've got the
Oh yeah,
big.
that is the Wind Rune. So for Underworlds, Lumineth are one of the only factions in all of Underworlds with only one warband.
Oh, there
So
you go.
it looks like a Wind Temple themed Underworlds warband will be coming for Lumineth.
You got the Blood Angels, you've got the Evil Sun, all that kind of stuff, right? Sure, 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 sure. Now, notably, there's nothing on his jacket that looks like the Maw.
Ogres.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, does that mean we are yet again going to be disappointed? Okay.
Yeah.
So, by having no ogres yet again, are we getting, here's the question, Marty. Okay.
Mhm. I am listening.
Are we getting one thing, 2 things, or 3 things? How many
Um,
things will we get?
Define things.
Things.
Okay.
Distinct things. Okay. So
Yeah.
distinct faction mentions. right?
Oh, distinct faction mentions. There we
Uh huh.
go. 2. My guess is 2.
Okay. Is one of those the Underworlds and one of those AOS? Is that what you're saying? Like
No.
Lumineth and Underworlds
Oh, no,
and
I
okay.
think within AOS we
Okay.
get 2 things.
All
We
right.
get a big thing, like they do a splash, and then the second thing is if it's not a book or something like that, but it's like because we have to continue the treadmill of like getting all of the army books out probably
Mm-hmm.
by like November. So they can start the end of edition narrative campaign for Age of Sigmar. I think that a second faction, which is none of those things, is going to get here's also your next battle tome, because we've now gotten through all of the elves.
Okay.
So I think it's like time for another army that does not have a book yet to be like, because that will be the thing that comes out first,
Yep.
for AOS, because they need to pad like for logistics purposes or whatever. It's just like this is also coming out. Here's your miniature and your book or whatever. So my guess is 2 factions get new miniatures.
Okay. Got it. 2
So I guess
factions get new miniatures.
it would be cities and something else.
Okay. So people in the comments have talked about, Skaven Spearhead or the cities versus Skaven sort of new dual Spearhead. Obviously they'll talk about the GHB and say that, sure. I mean, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I'll be interested to see what the theme is to end the year.
Sure. They might also just give passing mention, since I think the release will be like basically timed with it, of the Sylvaneth doc thing, and just like talk about that in more detail, since we've only gotten like, we obviously know they're coming up very soon, but they've only given us like the teaser article for both of them.
Yes.
So they could start by just going like, basically coming out before you even know it. Here's the blah 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 Sylvaneth and doc or something, and that'd just be completely throwaway, right? That's fine. Here's what I'll say, man. We've been dancing around these ogres for so long now. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
How far in advance they gave that to just like tease people and not give anything. It's wild, because I tend to agree with you. I don't think we'll actually see the ogres at Adepticon either, and I think that really sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem a little weird that cities get to cut in line. There was that presumed like leak, knowing that, but just like people just like it just disappeared. But there was like a table of contents thing, like from like now 17 months ago. It's like we'll see. It's like we'll find out what's true, what's not. But it's one of those things. To get back to ogres, it's like they are truly like the last vestige of like design, tethering us to the old world of Warhammer Fantasy. And like once that ogre release finally happens, it will be amazing.
Of course.
And it's just like it feels so overdue. Like
my issue with it is if you don't get it now, right? Then assumingly you don't get it till the fall for something that big.
I'm not because I think that Games Workshop is using opportunities now because they have more shows at more conventions this year.
Sure.
That they might use that opportunity to do more preview shows off our usual cycle.
Sure, but I'm not just talking about the preview show. Okay, I mean like you've got these 2 books. I assume they're going to mention one. Like I think you're right. I think you'll see the big cities refresh. I think you'll see one other book, right? Okay, a Slanesh or something like that. All right.
Yeah.
Who will be like a book and a unit or a book and a hero or whatever.
Right.
Smoking a pancake, right? Okay. Then, like, yes, it's true that even when they release a new edition of 40K, we still get releases.
Yes.
But I don't think in the middle of that hype cycle for that quarter, basically, they're not going to put out a whole new, like, big ogre refresh, would be my point, right? They'll do a book here or there. They'll do some small releases to do that. But, like, their big focus is going to be on that, not on doing a whole line refresh.
That September window, like with Hashut last year, feels appropriate. And it's also, it would be odd to, like, and I mentioned the preview shows because Games Workshop has gotten more consistent about putting product out, with some exceptions, of course. But a preview show comes out, and that product generally releases within 8 weeks or so.
Sure.
of that preview show. So, yeah, it is a little odd. It is unfortunate, but at least we know with certainty that it is coming. Games Workshop. Yeah.
Sure. I think what will end up happening again, Charlie. Yeah, I know they've said autumn. I just don't want it to be true. It's wild to me that they would release that image
Yeah.
a year before they release the army that is the army that still needs a refresh more than any other army. Like that's crazy to me, right?
Yeah.
They're like, if you don't play ogres or have played against them, dear God, like the
Mhm.
butcher and the slaughtermaster, just as an example, these are
Yes.
horrendous figures. I don't just mean they're like bad or old. I mean they're like
They're ugly.
horrendous.
Yeah.
Like the sculpting and the work looks like it was done by somebody who had suffered some form of head injury a few minutes before they sculpted it. So, like, and that's no offense to them at the time. I mean, like, whatever. It's
Mhm.
from the, but that's because those things were like, that sculpt for those were from the 90s and done by
Yeah.
hand and then went through like 7 iterations over to fine cast and garbage, you know? So, okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's my prediction. Of course, we could be wrong, and Games Workshop could be like,
Here's everything. Yeah, I love it. Look, just give us the roadmap. When did we forget about roadmaps? We were doing that for a little while, right?
only a little while, a very little while.
But we did it. They were like, this is our new thing. We're doing roadmaps now. And we were like, great. Okay, cool. That's something. And then they were just like, nah.
Yeah. I think to be at least a little bit charitable, especially given last year, like they have been trying to
Last year does not put me in a mood of charity, but continue.
exactly. But like for all of their products, it's like I think that they're managing like supply chains in an era of unprecedented turmoil, and I think some of these releases get moved around accordingly. And like it took 6 months for that Soul
Sure.
Blight box, that whole showcased faction, to release after it was previewed, and I
Sure.
don't think that happens on purpose.
I guess. I don't know, man. That's fine. Yeah, you don't need to put a timestamp on it.
Yeah.
Okay. As
Well,
somebody
they
who
stopped
literally
that.
delivers
Yeah.
roadmaps for part of my job, like
Mhm.
I do this, literally just did it today. Happens all the time. You don't have to say like this comes out on May 27th. You
Yeah.
can just say these are the things we're doing in this order. That's it.
Mhm.
That's real easy. Okay. Or like, this is roughly the order. We're not even sure what order they're in. Like, this is what we're working on now, what you're going to see soon. This is what you're going to see next ish, these 4 things in some kind of order. And these 2 things you'll see sometime after that.
Yes.
You could be super amorphous about it. Okay. So, like, I'm not buying it, man. That's just garbage. Okay.
Yes. And to answer someone's question, did they even released the Angron they showed a year ago? Yes, I believe that was in February, so it took them almost a year.
Yeah, it did take a while.
to
Yeah. Yeah, but your clients are not the entitled nerds that are a loud part of the community. No, that's true. My clients are the largest companies in the world
yes.
who
Yeah,
I would think
apparently like
would have a higher standard than, your average B2C thing. So there you go. But that's fair.
oh yeah, the 40K roadmap got like derailed like about a quarter of the way through because Imperial Knights, like they had to come out and say, I forget for whatever reason, they said in the article, but it's like for this reason the Imperial Knights Codex, here's the kit and here's the war scroll for it, but the codex itself has been delayed for like 6 months, and it's like,
Sure.
what? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At any rate, so, let's hope that we
Yeah.
actually see something. And again, like you can have a roadmap and then delays can happen. That happens. That happens to everybody. I'm okay with it. That's fine. Like you can come out and be like, here's our targeted roadmap. This is this is what we hope happens. And then it's like, well, things shifted around. So we're moving stuff. This is coming up. This is going out. See, that's just called transparency.
Mhm.
It's not hard. Okay.
Yes.
Like you can do that. I'm not going to be like, what am I going to do? Ah. Okay.
Um, Would you
I'd
like to
rather
talk about?
know and have you tell me, oh, look, oops, this thing happened. We got to pull this back. This guy's going to be delayed, but we're pulling this up. All
Oh
right,
yeah, like they did, remember
cool.
that Sylvaneth video where they did the potted plants, and it's like sometimes when one country and another country have a trade disagreement,
Right.
or because their Sylvaneth books were like every Sylvaneth codex was like stuck on a supply ship, and it was like because that was yeah, and they actually made a video for that, and they told people they made a bit out of it, and it was like
You can
yeah, that's
totally
great.
make a bit out of it, and it will buy a lot of goodwill. That kind of transparency and honesty just buys a lot of goodwill. And it's like the reason they don't do it is because there's somebody in like legal or leadership who doesn't want to. That's it. Because they just don't understand like the modern world. Like you would actually build more hype cycles if you mentioned it that far in advance and got people excited and then just like slowly trickled stuff. Like
Mhm.
I'm watching a trailer today for Dune Part 3. That thing doesn't come out till December.
December.
All right. That's
Yeah.
just like trailer 1 of 5 or whatever they're going to do and everything else they'll do leading up to the third Dune movie. So,
Hmm.
whatever. Okay.
Yes.
Shaved
Do you
head
want
Chalamet. That's what I got from that.
do you want to entertain a slight discussion of the other game systems that will be on the
Yeah.
preview show?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're right that the Underworlds will be the Lumina thing based on
Yeah.
the rune on the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, Obviously for 30K, I'd like a little bit of a repeat of the last one because I really have been enjoying seeing what they're making for Custodes. And for Kill Team, it would be very funny if they did Sisters of Silence because that kit is now almost 10 years old and needs some updates. So,
Well, some
yeah.
people were saying they were hoping for some kind of uh Soritas or whatever, the battle
Yeah,
sisters
yes,
in the Kill
more
Team
battles.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but they were just in one of the newer boxes for
Well, as you said,
yeah,
who knows as far as those things go, but yes.
yeah.
I mean, I couldn't tell you what's in a Kill Team versus not like right now, so
That's why you have me and Hooves of Doom to
sure.
tell you.
Yep.
Yeah, but it'll be cool, and we'll talk about it. And I have on my bingo card at the bottom, Adepticon show was worth the hype, and I will be taking a vote in the to see if we check that box on the bingo
Truly
card or
one of the
not.
hardest boxes to actually check. Yes. It was
Yes.
worth the hype. Boy,
Yeah.
that's a real hopeful one you've got there, Marty, on that bingo card. I'm not, there you go.
But hey, on that bingo card also, I put Marty podiums at a GT. So talk about
Okay. Hey,
hopeful.
hey. All right.
It,
It's
it
good.
happened last year. It did happen last year.
I believe in you. You can get there.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, does winning a painting award count? Does that count?
No, no, it's
Oh, okay.
podiuming. Yeah, that's like when I won that GT with Bellacore and Chosen and stuff. It's like
Gotcha.
that counts. I got best overall. It counts.
Okay. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Cool. So that's preview show. We got some other stuff to talk about though. We're not just talking about the preview of what we want to see. I think that's good.
Yeah.
As we're leaving the preview show section behind, if you haven't hit like yet, hit like, subscribe, do those things. Come join the madness and all of this. Come. You got to subscribe now, or you won't know when we go live next week from a random hotel room in Milwaukee with 10 people complaining about this preview show. How could you miss content that amazing? And thank you to everybody who super chatted so far and all that. Keep those super chats. Keep the regular comments coming. Keep all that happening. Awesome. Thoughts on Cog Forts? If the rumors are true, is it something that excites you? I think it's something that should have been there a long time ago. I'm glad we're finally getting it. It'll probably be a stupid piece of faction terrain, but it should walk around. And if it walks around and shoots at things, if it's the OBR faction terrain attacks people. The Lumineth terrain walks around, well, floats around, but you know what I mean, moves around. Okay. Put the two together, peanut butter and jelly, Cog Fort, we're good to go. We have the technology. So
in the very first Age of Sigmar Hammer and Bolter short on Warhammer Plus, there is a Cogfort. So we have already some vague design language of what those things are likely to look like in miniature form.
And then I say keep it coming with the weird ideas. Let's get the grot bag scuttlers, Army of Renown, where you can just like that's, slight aside, Marty. Nothing to do with nothing. That's actually where I'd like to see them go with Armies of Renown, rather than most of the boring ones we get.
Yeah.
I'd love it if the Armies of Renown were actually just like really big inspirations for conversion and experimentation. Like if in a Goblin book they just put Grot Bag Scuttlers in there, and we're like, just use KO ships now, right? It's this unit, or in the KO thing they had it. They, whatever. Like I don't care. Release it as like as part of the Scourge of Guyran as an Army of Renown, like somewhere. I don't care where you deliver it, but you get what I'm saying, right? Where it's just like put goblins on ship, done.
Yes.
Go. That'd be fun.
Kind of like what they did for Horus Heresy. They've put out a bunch of those PDFs before Christmas about how to basically make any army with any miniatures you want for like Imperial militia.
Right.
And it was just like, that's great. You can just create your own Space Marine Legion. You can create your own Imperial militia army. And it's like, more of this, please.
Yeah, I agree. So anyways, that's what I would like to see out of Armies of Renown. Yes, exactly. Old World does do this, very much so. And assumes you're just like an adult and can figure things out. They're like, you know, because you can take like in Cetra's Legion, you can take Tomb Guard chariots, and they're like, there's a little note at the bottom of it that's like, how to model this, our advice for how to model this, or whatever, something like that. And it's like, put a Tomb Guard in the chariot. Go ahead, you can do it. Like, take that model, put it in the chariot. You did it. Congratulations. And I just want to be like, yeah, I'm an adult. I can do this. Okay.
Yeah. One of the things I have a monthly call with Chuck, and about Old World, and it was like one of the things I was hoping for. I don't know if the third Arcane Journal for Cathay is out. But one of the things that's perfect in there is that in the PC game, there's like Honor Guard, like the Cathay version of Phoenix Guard,
Sure.
which are Jade Guard, but like gold and black, and they carry halberds. There are already halberds in the kit. So it's like, can't I just get like, you know, this super elite guard unit for like my hero? It's like something like that could feasibly be put into Old World because they have a history of exploring design space like that. Where it's like you can also use this kit in a way that is like slightly beyond the constraints of the box it's in.
Yes, I think that somebody mentioned that the Horus Heresy does it as well. And my answer is that's because apparently Specialist Design Studio knows they're selling to adults, and the main studios think they're selling to babies. I don't have any other thoughts on that. So there you go.
Yes.
Okay.
Beyond the preview.
All right. Let's talk about the AOS tourney. You're playing in this. We're talking singles now.
I am.
Teams is a little bit too big. That's a more complicated game. Let's talk the singles. Thursday and Friday. Singles event happening. I don't know how many people. 100, 150, 200, something like that. A lot of people.
Between 150 and 200 is the usual attendance.
Right.
Yeah.
So big AOS tournament.
Good. Yeah. And possibly why the battle scroll has been delayed, because the lists are due like tomorrow morning at like 8 a.m. Central Time or something.
Sure,
like
I'm sure
that.
the battle scroll will roll out tomorrow after the thing, so it doesn't apply to Adepticon. Yeah.
Well, they would have to force the update on the app, and then that would be a little
Oh, that's a good point.
inconvenient.
That would be a problem. Who knows? Yeah, maybe it'll come out after Adepticon then.
Yeah, I think it will come out of it after Adepticon because of that. Yeah.
That's very funny. Little Stinker says, Specialist Design Studio selling to adults? Thumbs up. Specialist Design Studio is making me build kits for adults? Thumbs down. Yes, correct. Correct. That is right.
True.
I am a baby when it comes to putting together the thing. Yeah. I just don't want to spend 8 hours assembling a model. I'm sorry. I feel it's completely reasonable use of my adult time. When I was 15, I had the 8 hours to do it. I could have sat there happily.
That was actually a line in Eric's video. It's just like, yeah, this is like about 2 hours for 3 models. Like, time is finite.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
So yeah, you have a graphic up on screen, which I cannot see on my tiny phone screen.
It's a bunch of stats, 6 stats, because I've picked my 6 armies that are my odds-on favorite to take the podium. Now, last year we saw cities take it, even though they weren't, the strongest army at that time. What's that?
I thought John wanted Adepticon.
Oh, you're right. 2 years ago we saw cities. Last year we saw IDK.
Yeah.
Sorry, there we go. Apologize.
Yes.
You are.
I have never gone.
I apologize, John.
Yeah, I was about to say in Poro we trust. I like betting on John because he's a superb player. Caleb is back.
The first thing to say is obviously player skill matters a lot more than any army win rate when it comes down to who wins a major tournament like this. Obviously. Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
But these are my 6 armies that are the odds-on favorite that have, like, I think the strongest potential to take it. And the win rates speak to that. Okay.
Yes.
This is Lumineth. New Lumineth, obviously. Sylvaneth. Look at that. By the way, Marty, look at that win rate line. Look at that line.
Yeah.
You can just where
Eltharion
did the new
delivery
book
system.
come out? I don't know. It's really hard to tell when that new book dropped and became legal. Where it could be anywhere on that line, really. Could be anywhere.
Yeah.
So
Cygnus, Jeremy was LVO.
Yeah.
So cities.
We got, oh, you're right. That's what it was. That's what I'm confusing. Yes, you're correct.
Yeah.
All right. So we got Lumineth. Very strong since their release. Very strong. Putting up numbers. Yeah. Very strong numbers. Sylvaneth. Hidden gem. Doing well. Okay. I think it's actually a player's army.
Yeah.
It's the IDK of this year for me. Okay. Because IDK isn't IDK anymore. So I think it's the IDK of this year. We got Tzeentch. I think Tzeentch has the highest skill ceiling of any book currently available. You got Caleb there. The win rate, it's not that high. It's pretty reasonable. It's about 52, 53%. Okay. Somewhere in that range. But you got Caleb there, I assume. I think he's going to be there.
Yeah, Caleb is actually coming back. He has not been able to make it for the past few Adepticon, so he will be there this year.
Yeah. And he's bringing Tzeentch. Super powered new tome with an incredibly high skill floor and an incredibly high skill ceiling. Exactly what he likes, right? I think many Tzeentch players will be cut down like wheat from the chaff. We shall separate the Lords of Change from the Pink Horrors very effectively with this. Who shall be the Exalted Flamers and who will simply be a Chaos Spawn? I can keep going. You get it, right? Okay. You got Nurgle on a bit of an upswing, but then you can, again, good trend, strong, good output there. How is Nurgle that low? Because it's because it's a difficult army to play. Like it wins through slow attrition, but it's hard to play and actually score the points you need to win. Like that's the simple answer. If you're a skilled player with Nurgle, you will wreck your opponent, right? Especially if they're a lower skilled player than you. But average players, Nurgle, you struggle because you can like often get pinned, often fail to get points, get the gold, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We talked about that back when the book came out. That I thought it was going to end up basically exactly where it is. Strong, but held back. Like I thought Nurgle was such a strong book, but held back by some of the complexity of actually being able to win with it.
Yeah. I think oh wait, are you done going through all 6? I didn't want to cut you off.
Blades, the Blades of Corn. All obviously on an upswing there. Okay. They're doing nothing but straight to the moon, baby. Okay. They're on the up. And then Flesh Eater Court's always strong, very good right now. Consistent high performer. Look at that plateau, Marty. Look at it. Look at that just like solid plateau, right? Just rocking it. Okay. They know what they're about. Yeah. So you love to see it. These are one of these 6 is my pick to take home the gold.
Yeah. Obviously, I actually have not brought Lumineth since Adepticon 2022, which was the first one back.
Yep.
And for the 3 years after that, I brought Slaves to Darkness, which was amusing in its irony. But this year, I am bringing Lumineth again. I do not think it will be... It's not the same Lumineth as from 2022, where it was techless 40 Sentinels, point-and-click, delete units. You actually have to play the game. Which I enjoy. I don't just I do try and challenge myself, and I'd like to grow as a gamer. I'm not just we will be talking painting journey at the end of the show.
Sure.
But I've been trying to slowly grow as a gamer, trying to get in more reps. Like I have 5 practice games lined up for practice this week, and one of them may even be against Caleb. We'll see. And I I mean, we have a plethora of skilled players in our circles, and I would not be so quick to write off a Soulblight, depending on the
Okay,
matchups, like a war
sure.
dry build, like someone who
I
really
looked
knows
at their
that army.
stats. They've been on a little bit of a downward trend, but you're right.
Yeah,
They are a responsive army
it's
to skill. I agree.
that's a play. That would be a player skill carrying it. Um, and depending on like what's up, like because I think at this point, like John might be running Lumineth instead of Deepkin. But I would say maybe like Lumineth, um, Zinch. We could see cities. Like I'm not ruling it out. Um, a few of the tough crowd and like Team America players will be there. They could be bringing like Fire Slayers. Who knows? But yeah, I think you're comfortable. It's not a bad bet on one of these six.
Sure.
Yeah, I would swap out Flesh Eater Quartz for Soulblight. That would probably be my only.
The win rate does not look as good on the SPG chart. I'll tell you that much for
I
sure.
know.
But I hear you. I
Yeah,
hear you.
yeah,
I think FEC. I think they're both very interesting armies, and they both have good play. So when it came down to it, because you're right, I was thinking about putting an SPG as well. They would have been my seventh if I had a seventh. I
yeah.
will agree with you.
Calligraphy set. I have dry erase cards. That's all I need.
Boo. Are you drawing the actual runes, or are you writing a word?
I can draw the runes if you want, but
I
then my
absolutely
opponent will
want
be
you to
like,
draw the runes. Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
but you and I have not played a game in like 6 years, so
That's true. That's true. That's true. But that's all right. I'm just saying, if you were
yeah,
playing me, I'd be like, you better draw them runes. That's all I'm saying. So there we go.
sounds good. Yeah, no, I did order a rune tracker from John Anderson and his Etsy shop. That should be here just before Adepticon. It was supposed to be here today, but I think the post office was like, "We'll get back to you on that."
Sure.
Um,
Sure.
yeah,
Cygnus says, I will allow it if you also wear Caligrave shoes. That's a good point. Yeah,
yeah.
you gotta have that little weird, like, single pointy
Excuse
shoe
me.
bottom.
I make all of my characters myself, so my Calligrave can wear whatever shoes I say they do.
There you go.
Mhm.
Silver Tower asked, Vince, are you interested in the new StarCraft TTMG that's coming out as far as playing or painting? Yes, I am interested. We're going to talk about that some in the next episode of Snarlcast. Actually, it's coming out this Monday because we talk about licensed products. So
Yeah, Hellstorm Mikey and a few other influencers will be doing a thing with was it Archon Games? I forget the name of the company, but
yeah,
they will
Archon
have a thing
Studios.
at Adepticon. I was close. I remembered it.
You are.
They will be having a booth and demos and like a live stream of the game at Adepticon.
Yeah, I hope to play some of it. Just getting it, just like I want to go through a little demo in their booth or whatever at some point. They're going to be right across from me for some part of the day because I'll be in the spray gunner booth one day. I don't remember what time or when I'm where. I have it all in a calendar, but I don't have to remember. But I
Yeah.
know the spray gunner booth is like right next to the army painter booth, which is like right across from the Archon Studios booth. So, like I looked at the map or whatever. Um, so I assume I'll just wander over there and and like get it. I want to see how good the quality of the figs are. That's what means everything to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I do not paint bad figures. It's just like that's my rule. That's it. I ain't dealing with crap.
I'm
So
pretty sure that's a universal rule because some of these miniatures games live and die on the quality of their figures.
yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I definitely want to check it out. So yeah, I'll be hopefully maybe I can walk away with a little colonial marine
Painting.
or
Yeah,
a
painting.
Zergy or a I wouldn't really want to do a Zergy. What would I do? Maybe a Protoss guy. I'd do a Protoss guy. That'd be fun. So am I gonna get can I get the tank? Are they gonna have do they have the tanks? Can I use the tank? Uh
I have a very unique like lack of experience with video games growing up, so the StarCraft thing very much passed me by.
Battle Cruiser Online.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
If
mean
they ever make a Fire Emblem miniatures game,
no, you're
I
ready
will.
to go? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, so we will see with the yes, you must construct additional pylons. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Was part of the playtest. It's pretty fun. Movement is interesting. How it's handled. Less measuring every model. Cool. Neat. I look forward to seeing it. Nigel, I'm hoping to travel from Thailand to Adepticon next year or 2028. How far in advance do I need to book a room near the convention? How much should I expect to pay per night? You should book whenever they open up the hotel block, which I think is like what, August or September, something like that.
Yeah, keep an eye on their social media profile, like
Right.
Facebook, Instagram, for yes, that's generally what these conventions use, and also their own website. They will tell you the block will open here, and they will also say like what the individual hotels are. And in USD, you're expected to pay around 130 or 140 a night before fees, and they do list those prices on the website. Um, but because of the nature of Adepticon, it's the largest convention in our niche of the fandom. Those hotel rooms do sell out within about 5 minutes. So
It's
you
not
should
that
probably,
fast anymore. Since they moved to the Baird Center, it's been better. Like there's a lot of
no,
hotels generally in the area, but you should
yes.
still
Oh,
try to get
that's
it
the
that
yeah,
first day. It's not. It
yes,
used to be like when it was at the Renaissance, it was like literally you had to get it in the first 30 seconds.
yes.
Now, honestly, it's most of the time like if you, as long as you're booking that first day, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, I maybe if you only wanted the hotels which have the like which are attached to the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
convention
If
center
you don't
itself.
exactly, those
Yeah,
two sell out pretty quick. The Marriott and the Hilton that are both directly attached. But there's other
and the Hyatt.
hotels
Yeah.
that you just have to
Mhm.
like walk out on the street for. But it's not
Right.
like it's far. So,
Yeah.
all right. Okay. Let's go then. We got one more topic.
Mhm.
That's Golden Demon. Now, I don't want to talk about who I think is going to win Golden Demon or who's going to win an award or something like that, like the people, because that's
Mhm.
just insulting. There's a lot of people showing up here, and you never know.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a ton of people who come out of nowhere and do amazing things. And I look forward to watching to seeing everybody's amazing miniatures. No, what I want to
Yeah.
discuss today is something else, Marty. I want to discuss the miniatures that we think are primed to win. So here
Okay.
I've got 4 examples that I think are all primed
Okay.
to win a
Yeah.
demon. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So I've
Yes.
got Fulgrim, Demon Primarch of Slanesh.
Hmm.
I've got Gelgus Puss, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
From
Warhammer Quest guy.
that's right. We've got Vorderai, the Lord of the Crimson Keep, and we've got Meow Yang, Meow Meow, the Storm Dragon. Okay.
All right.
By the way, with or without her dragon, I'm not sure because I could see somebody entering her as just single figure, like her alone,
Yeah,
right? Not not
I
dragon.
would bet on the single figure more than like I don't think you'll see much if any of the dragon.
Right. So, well, I mean, I don't know. You never know.
That's actually a prediction I have.
It's very fair.
Yeah.
But yes, I like because what's oh gosh, the winningest man in Golden Demon history. He's Italian. Why can't I think of his name? Oh my gosh, this is gonna kill me.
Alberto Moretto Font.
No, no, no. I mean, Alberto's an amazing painter. No, gosh darn it, I'm so bad with names. This is why I hate doing this live and saying that. He's such a great guy and such a good painter. It'll come to me. But anyways, he painted her just alone for the Essen Golden Demon.
Da Vinci or
No,
Jose?
no,
No. All right. He's Spanish. Sorry.
it's okay.
Mhm.
Can you enter the vendor hall without a badge? Yes. Correct. Yes, you can. You don't actually need a badge to go in the vendor hall. It's cool. Anyways, these are 4 I've picked. What do you think as far as figs? What you got? You got any other hot picks you think will show up?
Oh, sure. Well, so yeah, with Fulgrim, just like I mean, that's not a hard pick because last year there were like 12 Angrons. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. It was crazy.
some painted like by beginner painters, and some of them painted by grandmaster painters because it's a
Sure.
very popular character that people want to do. I have quite a few exact predictions based
Oh,
on
okay.
yeah, well,
I'm
almost
listening.
exact. Like people who are painting for the specialist categories tend to go for the smaller singular figures.
Sure.
Um, so like things like Miao Ying, the individual character. I've seen several friends of mine who are posting their entries like in like drip feed because they wanted to, have some suspense for the pageantry of amongst, good-natured friends. Like we're all celebrating going to this contest together, and even technically competing against one another. We're all having fun watching each other's artwork trickle out onto the internet. And I think for those specialist categories, single figures are better. And
Angelo DiCello is the name I was trying to
there
remember.
you go. Did you look it
Angelo
up?
DiCello. I did. I had to look it up,
Oh,
but I wasn't
don't
gonna.
even-
Angela's such a nice guy and such an amazing painter. I felt bad, so I didn't want anything getting back to him that I forgot his name.
Yeah.
So
But like all of the single figures that have come out for Warhammer: The Old World over the past year. So like, what's her name? The Brienne of Tarth for Chaos, the Horn Lady with the mace.
oh sure, yeah,
I
okay.
forget her name. Like the Empire Wizards, like
How many different versions of Death Dealer are we going to see in the case? All the different versions, right? Because there's a cities version, there's a Nurgle version, there's a chaos version. Like, what percentage of the competition will just be their riffing on Death Dealer?
oh yes. Uh, who knows? That's but just it's a very popular sort of thing to see.
Mhm.
Like yeah, I do like the Nurgle guy. Like I think you'll see a few of him. I think
Yep.
that's a pretty intimidating model. Like it's there's a lot of detail crammed onto that character,
Sure.
and you can't build a diorama really around it without making something large to compensate because it's about the size of a dreadnought. So that would only be like a little bit like for ambitious uh, hobbyists. Um, like you'll see Andy Wardle. I'm sorry, you don't want me to talking about individuals. You'll see.
I mean, you can say
some
whatever you want. I'm
amazing
just saying
diorama.
I'm not
Yeah.
because
Okay.
whatever.
Okay. You'll see amazing scratch built dioramas because the change in guidelines have been pushing people to learn sculpting themselves, and so I think the people who have um, gone it's like, you know what? If you're asking me to sculpt something, I will then throw myself at that. I will learn it. I would like to try and master it. And that kind of person will be creating truly ambitious things where it's like, oh, that's all handmade. And that person
Sure.
will be one of the people that wins an award where it's like you'll see some incredibly elaborate, like we saw at Essen last year, the return of kit bashing with the Slayer sword going to a kit bash that you'd normally only see in like someone's wacky gaming army, and then painted
I
to
mean, it's
that.
certainly on another level, yes, but yeah. Even the kit bash, like using a little jeweler's tool to drill out the inside of the
Sleeve, yeah.
bracelet on the sleeve, yeah, is pretty far.
hmm Um, yeah, but there. One of the other popular things I've seen is the Ultramarines characters that they came out with at the end of last year, with the Victrix Guard and the new Cato Sicarius.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, built with basically built for a competition like Golden Demon, where it comes with a scenic base. Um, Something like that is just built for like you don't have to modify the figure very much to create a dynamic looking vignette for the figure.
I agree.
Um, I'm trying to think what else. I don't know. Uh, like
I
Fulgrim,
think we will still
yes.
see another. I think we'll probably still see a Vizek floating around. I think people really like Vizek, a big rat. I think we'll probably still
Yeah,
see the little fur ball. He'll still show up.
yeah.
Our FEC Mortark of
And
Delusion.
and also, I think it's important to point out again the monument hobbies. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
think that's going to lead to a new renaissance of people really going all hog because it's like Adepticon is now the biggest stage, I think, for displaying figures since like not to like Gen Con's painting competition is not like as big as
Right.
like what Crystal Brush was.
No,
So I think replacing Crystal Brush, you will see people bring truly just phenomenal works of art, unfettered by any guidelines on what you can enter.
I think that is true. I think that'll be 2027 that you'll see that. Yes, I agree.
Yes, yeah, this year it's just like the first, especially since it's only the first 300 pieces. Did John finish his dual piece? I imagine he did,
Is it
or
done?
is
No. Will
almost
he be
done.
done? Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll make
Megan
sure of it.
Skink. And I do want to touch up a little bit more on my Tau robot. I have some personal aspirations for that piece, both at Golden Demon and beyond.
I agree. All right. Well, there we go. That's our predictions and previews and things we want to see at Adepticon. Marty, any final thoughts before we call it a night?
I'm excited. It's like I will be at the influencer meet and greet outside of the auditorium.
Oh, are they even doing that
before-
this year? Okay, I didn't even know they were
Yes,
doing
they
that.
are.
Cool.
Yeah, they asked me for a photo of like a professional photo of me for like a sizzle reel or something. It was like, oh my god, it's like a thing. Yeah.
You are a good painter, elf man, or a good painter, stormcast man, so that makes sense. Is that what they put directly under you in the picture? Good painter, elf man. That's what they should put there.
To be determined.
I'll be around as well. If you're coming to Adepticon next week and you see us, hey, make sure you say hi. I look forward to seeing everybody there. It's going to be a great time. I very much look forward to it. Obviously, last year, my Adepticon experience was cut very short by something very unfortunate. So I certainly don't want to repeat of anything like that. So there you go. I think when they use, but he said my official photo is just an apron. I believe they're actually using like my corporate headshot because they just they asked for a photo and I think I found that and sent it to them, which is funny. So it's like what I use for corporate headshots. This is also old. I have a newer one that I use now, even for my company. So whatever. Anyways, hey everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks for super chatting. Do continue to do that. It really does help the show. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for keeping the conversation going. If you didn't hit like or subscribe yet, what are you doing? Do that. Click buttons. Click things that make dings. Be cooler. It really does, again, help other people find the show. And it could cost you absolutely nothing other than moving a mouse around or touching something on a screen with your finger. So do that stuff. Check out other things. New episode of Snarlcast is out already. We're talking about what makes magic items cool. So that'll be great. What's up, Haywo? I see Haywo just joined. Looking forward to seeing you next week, Haywo. And
I am as well.
There's gonna be lots of. I got my decks ready to go. I'm trying to get one more deck ready that's absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
That I want to make fun of while playing it.
I will bring one, even if I don't end up playing Magic with you guys. I will still bring one, so it's better than not having it.
All right, absolutely. It's gonna be a great time. And so I look forward to that. There's gonna be lots of magic. Gonna be lots of hanging out. Got a lot of teaching to do. Very busy schedule. But if you see me, say hi. Hey, thanks everyone. Check out the new Fireball, the Gazebo. Check out the new Snarlcast. Both of them have new episodes this week. All those links are down below. Patreon, merch store, blah blah blah. Yeah. Look, support the show. When you're buying your hobby products, use those affiliate links. It's so easy. Save some money. And it really does help. There's a new affiliate link down there from Mindworks Games. So that's cool. If you're in the US, you can pick that up and get some beautiful busts for, like, say, a miniature agnostic show, like the Monument Hobbies show. So, and Mindwork makes absolutely stunning figures. So there you go. That's our newest little affiliate partner down there. But hey, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Marty, thank you, sir. Great to have you on again. And like I said, you'll probably see Marty again next week. So this is the rare two-peat for anybody other than Tom. So there you go. But thanks, Marty. Thank you, everybody, for watching. See you at Adepticon next week. And as always, don't forget to start rolling dice.